Hey guys, welcome to Avian Games. This is Chris here. We are going to be doing something a little bit different today. This is a video we're showing off how I like to build my decks. We thought this was kind of some cool new content that we could do that isn't just a deck profile and it isn't just something like a meme or whatever. So I'm going to be doing one of these. Jack's going to be doing one of these. We like different decks and we build decks very differently. So we thought this could be kind of cool to show off. Before we start, I do want to mention this is Yugioh Omega for the simulator. We get asked this like every time we post a deck profile or something like that. If you Google it, you can probably find it. There's a Discord for it as well. So check it out. I really like it a lot. There are some bugs in it with some cards or like some plays or something like that. But overall, it's nice. It has a good amount of polish to it, and it's really aesthetically nice to play. So that's why I like doing it. But getting into it, first thing first, you got to pick the deck you want to play. We're going to start with that. I like playing mid-rangey kind of decks that are toolboxy. They have multiple options. I also like decks that are gimmicky, and that's kind of why we're picking S-Force here. They're a pretty gimmicky deck, especially the way that we are going to play it. We're going to play it with kind of two different ideas going in mind. This is a very casual deck. They do have two new cards, actually, that are wicked good. I don't really remember them off the top of my head. I mean, it's these two. I could read them, but I'm not going to read them now. They are good. I just don't remember what they do right now, but that's something that can be talked about when they actually come out. We're going to be doing this as kind of like a board control version of S-Force. Using S-Force Chase, compulsory evacuation device, and ground collapse to kind of like control the columns and the board overall. That just gives you some context of what's going on. To start with your deck building, pick your deck and then read every card in the archetype. It is really easy to just find a deck online and copy it and then just like be done with it. I think it is super necessary to one, play your deck better, but two, just become a better duelist, to know what all your cards do in the archetype. If you're playing something like Elemental Heroes, you don't have to go read every Elemental Hero. But there are good cards in an archetype even if they aren't played. So just read your cards. It'll give you more options. Sometimes a card that you are playing that other lists aren't playing might save you in a game and you might win because of it. So don't knock your card just because other people aren't playing it. But the first thing I like to do is I always start with my archetype. I don't add extra cards to a deck until I am done adding my cards from my archetype in. So I'm going to start with the 3-ofs for my deck, and then I'm going to move to cards that I don't think are 3-ofs, but I want to run. And then I look at how many cards are in my deck at that point, and then I start filling in the cards that I either know I want, or eventually I usually hit a point where I'm like, oh, I need 8 cards in my deck, and then I can start throwing in staples, hand traps, solemns, draw spells, whatever you need. So we're going to start with 3-ofs for now. And then we will come back after that. Okay, so we are back. I ended up just putting all the cards in. I didn't just do the 3-ofs. But these are all the cards that I think I need to run for this archetype. The important 3-ofs that we're running are the Chiyomaru, the S-Force Chase, and the Bridgehead. The Chiyomaru and Bridgehead are your play starters, and they are searchers and summoners. And your S-Force Chase is how you're going to be controlling the field. And then with the other cards, your Platina lets you extend, your Gravitino lets you search, your Specimen lets you summon from grave or banish, which is really nice, and then your Showdown lets you recycle a monster from grave or summon one from hand. In a deck that is reliant on columns like S-Force, this is a pretty nice effect, and so is this. So I'm keeping them at 2-ofs for now. I could imagine them both going up to a 3-of, and I could imagine them both being put down to a 1-of, or maybe even cut, depending on your build. But this is how I'm going to start for now. Do keep in mind that everything is being everything needs to be tested, obviously. So just because I'm running it out of 3-of now, I might not run it out of 3-of, in 10 minutes when I test the deck, or a week after I've played it, 10 times, 15 times. So keep in mind, I think it's important to understand that your decks can always be in a limbo state, like you can always be editing your decks. Sometimes that's just the way a deck pans out, is that there's a lot of options and you constantly change it, kind of thing. That's what makes Yu-Gi-Oh fun. So now that we have our S-Force cards here, note that we also have 3 of the Link Monster as well. Now that we have our S-Force cards here, we're going to move on to cards outside of the archetype that I'm going to think are necessary for the deck as of right now. And then we will rendezvous after that. Okay, so we are back now. We have added the extra cards that aren't in the archetype that I think are going to be necessary for this deck. Ground Collapse. This card's just funny. I like running this card in decks that kind of rely on columns. You just basically get to lock 2 zones, monster zones in the field. It can really be a hindrance for some decks to not have like all their zones. So if you use this, and then if you're able to make your Link summon on your first turn, your S-Force Link monster, they just automatically start playing into your Justify zones, which is kind of funny. And then your Compulse, because that's how we're doing it. We're doing a Compulse and S-Force Chase kind of control. So yep, this is all the cards that I think are necessary for the deck as of right now, at least how I want to test playing it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start just filling in the gaps. We have 8 cards that we get to fill in here, so we have a good amount of room for hand traps and other traps and stuff like that. So let's start adding some of those. Okay, so we are back again. We've got our hand trap lineup here. We're running double Ash, triple Effect Failure, and triple Imperm. So now that the main deck is filled out here, we will fill in the side deck with some cards that we find necessary, and we'll come back after that also. Okay, so we are back for the final time here. This is what our deck's looking like. This is our extra deck. I really honestly just kind of threw cards in here. I would probably spend more time thinking about the cards that are in here if I was actually building this deck for like real right now. But these are just some ideas here. I'm running mostly 2 ofs of Nightmares because we are running the Extravagance, and you do have some problems with like spell and traps and stuff like that, so having the Phoenix in there is nice. The Cerberus and the Unicorn are obviously just going to come up. You know what, I might actually even run 1 more Phoenix just because I really don't want to lose that in case we do face like, you know, some back row kind of deck. Barricade Board Blocker can protect your field spell and your Ground Collapse. You obviously want 3 of the Justify. We talked about it earlier. These you honestly might just end up losing from your Extravagance, the 1-ofs here. But, you know, so be it. I was just mostly filling the extra deck for the sake of the video. So let's hop into a test hand real quick. We'll show off what the deck can do. Again, this is going to be the kind of thing where it's probably going to be changed after, you know, a couple days, a couple weeks, a couple hours even maybe of playing it. So keep that in mind, and let's check it out. Okay, we are back. We've got a pretty stacked hand here, I would say. This is a nice hand. I guess it does only get better depending on what we draw off Extravagance here. But immediately off the bat, I'm thinking that we can have the Chiyomaru summon off maybe a Gravitino and search us our trap card if we want to. Having the Platina in hand, this is exactly what I was talking about in the video. You don't really want this in your opening hand. It does kind of suck. But maybe we can Gravitino and then even search the spell card, the Showdown or whatever it was called. Start off the bat here. Let's do 6. We're not going to ash ourselves. Oh, we ended up drawing the Chase here, so this is wicked nice. This hand is fucking fantastic. Let's activate the Chiyomaru. We can even banish the Chase if we want to. But I'm thinking we banish the Platina, return it. We can summon our Gravitino here. Let's activate the Gravitino effect. Again, not going to ash ourselves. We could summon our Platina if we want to with the Specimen. And you know what? I think I will end up doing this. Just so that we keep the Chiyomaru in hand. Wow, this is like the best opening hand that a YouTuber can ask for. Holy shit. set everything. So we'll show off what's going to happen here. Driveways, blah, 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 blah. Let them do their thing. Immediately, we will specimen, summon the Platina. Right there. You do want your monsters in the same column as your opponent's monsters. This is going to make everything lose 600. This is a 0 attack monster. And then they're banished whenever they leave the field. So we're just going to wait it out. Let them set their cards, do whatever they want. They are going to activate an A-Force. This is a stupid AI, so don't mind them playing normal monster and A-Forces and stuff. They're about to move phases. So we're going to let them get to battle phase. And then we will activate this. Bounce both of these. They're going to get banished. We have the Compulse still sitting there, too. They're waiting it out. They have another A-Force card, but nobody cares. Jar Greed. Screw it. We'll ash them. I don't care. Oh my god, just let me get to the main phase. Bridgehead. We're not going to activate that. We are going to add a Security Force monster. Let's add a... I guess we'll add a Chiyomaru, because I think Chiyomaru can still banish himself. Yep, any S-Force card from hand. Activate a card or effect. Nope. We're going to normal summon. Activate the Chiyomaru effect. We can banish the Chase from grave to save ourselves a Chiyomaru. But no, let's end up banishing the Chiyomaru, because what we'll do here is we'll summon a Platina. Activate Platina effect to summon our Chiyomaru. Summon it. We do not need to activate any effect. That's just swapping zones. And then what we can do here is go in for battle. Attack, do your thing. So, yep, that's how the deck works pretty much. That was a really good opening hand. We still have a negate, a bounce, and then whatever we decide to do with our other monsters. So, yeah, this is kind of, what I was saying. This is what the deck does. Obviously, like I said, the more you test it, the more you get to figure out kind of what you want out of the deck. So, keep that in mind. And, yeah. So, yep, that's a video, guys. We didn't get to see the whole ground claps thing pan out, and obviously, there's a lot of cards we didn't see because we only played one hand. But overall, I think it was a pretty just good idea of at least how I build my decks. Hopefully, it gives you some context as to where some of the profiles came from or something like that. I am not the person who's not going to play a card just because somebody else isn't playing it. And I'm not the person to play a card just because somebody else is playing it. I definitely make sure that I test all my cards myself, because I do end up playing some gimmicky stuff a lot of times. Like this ground clap thing is super gimmicky, but I think it honestly would pan out to a interesting play, locking your opponents out of some zones and then making them go into a justify zone. So, yep, that's how I do it. Jack will probably be posting a video, next week at some point. So, doing the same thing. So keep an eye out for that. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you all for the support that we've been getting. We've been getting a ton of support on the channel. We have actually constantly been trying to make a video for certain goals. We tried to do a 100 subscriber video and we missed it because we had already hit 200, and then we tried to do a 200 and we missed it because we hit 250, which is like a minor one, and then we hit 500 before we could even do that. So then we just waited for 1,000, but now we've missed 1,000. We're already at 1,500. So just thank you so much for all that support. We love reading all your comments. We love seeing that you guys like the shorts that we've been posting out and the deck profiles and whatnot. So we hope to bring you a lot of more content soon. Again, thank you for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button if you like the content. If you have any questions, leave down in the comments. If you think that I'm done for playing these cards, S-Force, let me know. Honestly, I'll probably not touch this deck again for a while. This is just an example video type thing. But yeah, thanks for coming, and have a good one.